Did you know 80% of seniors lack this critical anti-aging nutrient? Stay to learn how to fix it. Welcome back to Life in Harmony, everyone. Dr. Masayuki, what's your number one collagen tip for amazing hair, nails, and skin, especially for seniors struggling with joint pain or fatigue?
Hi everyone, hi Alice. My absolute top tip, one that's simple and inexpensive, revolves around one foundational topic, collagen. But more specifically, a tiny but mighty component within it that holds surprising power. And yes, in this video, we'll cover easy ways for everyone to get it, including fantastic vegan solutions.
Collagen. Most of us have heard that word, usually in relation to beauty products or joint health. But what exactly is collagen, Dr. Masayuki?
Well, at its core, collagen is your body's most abundant protein. Think of it as the literal scaffolding that holds everything together, your connective tissues, your tendons, your ligaments, cartilage, of course your skin. It's absolutely vital.
So it's the structure, and you mentioned a tiny but mighty component within it?
Precisely. And this is where it gets really interesting. 1/3 of all of your body's collagen is made up of just one single amino acid, glycine.
Glycine. Okay. Now, if our bodies are so reliant on it, do we make enough of it naturally?
That's a really critical question, Alice. Glycine is considered a non-essential amino acid, meaning our bodies can make it. But here's the thing, especially as we age, our bodies often don't make enough glycine to meet the daily demands. And if you're not getting it sufficiently from your diet, chances are you're going to be deficient.
So where do we typically get glycine from in our diet? Is it just in like regular protein?
That's a common misconception. While regular proteins, red meat, chicken, fish, even eggs or dairy, are essential for overall protein intake, they're actually not very high in glycine. To get a significant amount, you'd really have to be eating the skin on the chicken, the cartilage on the chicken bones, or organ meats. And let's be honest, Alice, a lot of people just don't consume those parts regularly anymore.
No, certainly not. My grandparents might have, but it's less common today. And for those who avoid animal products entirely, like vegetarians or vegans, what then?
That's an even bigger challenge. For plant-based eaters, the risk of falling short on glycine is significantly greater. Plant proteins generally contain far less of this amino acid compared to those nose-to-tail cuts of meat that our ancestors relied on for millennia. So, you can be consuming what you think is a lot of protein overall, but still be critically deficient in this one very specific, very important amino acid. And that, surprisingly, can lead to all sorts of issues.
Okay, so we could be protein-rich but glycine-poor. What kind of issues are we talking about here, Beyond just the hair, nails, and skin?
Oh, it goes much deeper than that, Alice. Let's start with something fundamental. Glycine is absolutely essential to make the most important antioxidant in all of your cells, something called glutathione. If you don't have enough glycine, you simply can't make enough glutathione.
And glutathione is crucial because?
Because without it, your body can't effectively detoxify. That means you'll have a buildup of toxicity, which in turn directly relates to inflammation throughout your body. This is one of the primary reasons why glycine is actually very powerfully anti-inflammatory.
Wow. So it's not just about aesthetics, it's about internal inflammation.
Exactly. And that ties into so much more. Glycine is incredibly important for your liver, for example, supporting its detoxification pathways. It's also used to help heal what we call leaky gut because it helps prevent inflammation in the gut lining. And as I've talked about extensively in many different contexts, gut inflammatory conditions are often the very start of many autoimmune diseases.
What other surprising roles does it play?
Another surprising role, glycine helps your body create specific workers that deal with common waste products. Think of hydrogen peroxide, the stuff people use to bleach hair. Did you know your body produces it too? Well, if you don't have enough glycine, your body struggles to make the cleanup crew for that hydrogen peroxide. And what happens? It builds up, and it can start bleaching your hair from the inside. It's a fascinating connection that scientists have explored, showing a link between declining enzyme levels and hair graying.
Oh, that's fascinating. I never would have connected those two.
Exactly. And speaking of hair, it's not just about color. Many seniors struggle with thinning hair, which is often a collagen issue. I had a 72-year-old patient named Mary who was really bothered by her hair thinning, especially at the crown. She started taking just 3 grams of glycine nightly, and within 3 months, her hair was visibly thicker and stronger. She couldn't believe the difference. It truly supports the building blocks for healthy hair. But the roles of glycine go even deeper. It's absolutely essential to make the heme in your blood. That's the part of hemoglobin that carries oxygen. So if you don't have enough glycine, your body can't even make blood efficiently. Even the health of your gums around your teeth needs glycine. It's truly foundational. You even need it for your DNA synthesis.
So, if we're deficient, it sounds like it could impact us from our DNA right up to our hair color.
Precisely. And for many of my senior patients, one of the biggest complaints is sleep. If you're deficient in glycine, you might struggle to achieve that deep, restorative delta wave sleep that you need to truly feel regenerated and refreshed in the morning.
That's a huge one for so many people.
It really is. Also, I've found that glycine is very important in helping people detoxify uric acid. It's even used as a natural support in the treatment of gout, because glycine actually competes with uric acid for excretion. Glycine also helps make your insulin more sensitive, which means it's really good for managing blood sugars and can help with a lot of related issues like weight loss, fatty liver, and reducing visceral fat around the organs.
So, it's good for metabolic health too? That's quite a spectrum. I remember hearing that the Greek word for glycine means sweet. Does that mean it could turn into sugar? And would that be a concern for someone, say, on a ketogenic diet or trying to manage their blood sugar?
That's a sharp observation, Alice. Yes, the Greek word for glycine does mean sweet, and it can actually be turned into glucose for fuel. Certain parts of the body, especially the brain, do need a certain baseline level of glucose. If you're not consuming sugar, your body will make it. And glycine can indeed be a precursor for that glucose production.
So, someone might think, is this going to bump me out of ketosis? Is it going to increase my blood sugar?
That's a very valid concern. But look at the overall benefits here. Glycine actually helps stabilize your blood sugar. Yes, there might be a very slight temporary insulin spike, but crucially it makes your own insulin much more sensitive. So it's more corrective for insulin resistance versus regular sugar, which of course doesn't improve blood sugar sensitivity at all.
Ah, so it's making the system work better rather than just adding fuel.
Exactly. Here's something else interesting. When you consume glycine, it also stimulates the opposing hormone to insulin, called glucagon. Glucagon does the opposite of insulin, essentially balancing things out. So, when you consume amino acids or protein, you don't have to be as concerned about a problematic blood sugar spike. Glucagon helps keep things in check, and if something can make insulin more sensitive, it's absolutely not going to worsen insulin resistance. In fact, it's going to help improve it.
That makes perfect sense. And I also saw something about it potentially helping with kidney stones. That's pretty cool.
It is. There's even a study suggesting how glycine could interfere with the binding of oxalates to calcium crystallization, potentially helping to prevent certain types of kidney stones. Another testament to its multifaceted benefits.
Okay, so with all these incredible roles, how does someone actually become deficient in glycine?
Well, first and foremost, it comes down to diet, as we discussed. If you're not consuming that nose-to-tail approach, meaning you're not eating all the parts of the animal that contain collagen, like the connective tissues and bones, then chances are you could be deficient. Beyond that, even though our bodies make some, there's a massive demand for glycine in our modern lives. Especially if you're under chronic stress, taking certain medications, drinking alcohol, or consistently exposed to environmental toxins. If your liver is working overtime to get rid of poisons, glycine gets used up incredibly fast.
So it's a combination of insufficient intake and high demand.
Exactly. 1/3 of all collagen is glycine, so it's constantly being used and rebuilt.
Okay, so how do we fix this? What are the simple, inexpensive ways to get more glycine and collagen into our bodies?
A very simple and effective way is through gelatin, like plain Knox blocks. You can buy it in packets, easily found on Amazon or in most grocery stores. Just add a little stevia for taste, dissolve it in warm water, and consume that regularly. It's a really easy, inexpensive way to get a good dose of glycine. You can also take a glycine supplement directly.
And what's a good amount for an average person?
The amount an average person needs ranges between about 4 grams to 10 grams a day. It's a pretty wide range because individual needs vary.
What about other ways to get collagen? I know bone broth is popular now.
Bone broth is certainly a great source of collagen, but to get enough glycine, you'd honestly have to consume a lot of it daily. Similarly, a homemade chicken soup, made from the whole chicken cooked all day long in a crock pot, will be a fantastic collagen source because you're extracting it from the bones and cartilage.
Ah, the traditional way.
Precisely. Pork rinds can also contribute to glycine intake. Just make sure they don't have added MSG or other chemicals. You'd need a good amount, but they can be a source. And different cultures have always done it differently. Some use the whole fish, including the head, to make broth. Others use chicken feet or other bones in their soups. There are many traditional ways to get collagen naturally.
Now, I've heard the term hydrolyzed collagen. What does that mean, and is it better?
Hydrolyzed collagen simply means the protein has been broken down into smaller peptide chains. It's just an easier way for your body to absorb the collagen. So it's not necessarily better in terms of content, but it's often more convenient and dissolves more easily in liquids. Besides Knox gelatin, another great product to look for is Great Lakes beef gelatin.
So, if someone decided to take a glycine supplement, do they need to be concerned about taking too much?
That's always a good question to ask about any supplement. In the case of glycine, you would have to take something truly astronomical, like 600 grams, for it to be a concern. We're only talking about 4 to 10 grams a day, so it's generally very safe within those recommended ranges.
That's a huge relief. And should you take it with food or on an empty stomach?
If possible, I generally recommend taking glycine with food. It just tends to be better tolerated and absorbed that way.
Okay, so to circle back, especially for our listeners focusing on senior health, what are the biggest benefits of ensuring adequate glycine as we age?
The need for glycine actually goes up as we age, Alice. So ensuring you have enough can potentially help significantly with things like osteoarthritis, supporting joint cartilage; osteoporosis, by supporting bone health; thinning hair and brittle nails, which are very common concerns; insomnia, as we discussed, helping you achieve deeper sleep; gout, by assisting with uric acid detoxification; and potentially even kidney stones.
That's a pretty comprehensive list of age-related benefits. So, let's talk real practical options for getting more collagen and glycine into our lives. Because knowing it's powerful is one thing, actually using it day to day is another.
Precisely. And there's no single perfect source for everyone, but there's definitely a best one for you. Take gelatin, for instance. It's super affordable, very versatile, and it really does work. You can stir it into your morning coffee or blend it into a smoothie. The only thing, and I'll be honest, the flavor can be a little odd if you're not used to it.
Yeah, I can imagine. And what about bone broth? I know it's a go-to comfort for a lot of folks.
It is. You simmer bones slowly, gently drawing out all that wonderful collagen, minerals, and marrow. The result is this rich, comforting broth that truly feels like medicine for your skin and joints. The only downside, and it's a big one for some, is that it takes time, and not everyone has that luxury in their busy lives.
Agreed. Then we have hydrolyzed collagen.
Yes, that's the one we just discussed. Fast absorbing, easy to use, and it dissolves almost like magic in both hot or cold drinks. It's also a bit more expensive, generally.
And finally, pure glycine powder.
Ah, glycine powder. This is often my go-to recommendation for simplicity. It's pure, clean, neutral tasting. Just a scoop in water or tea, and you're done. Simple, effective.
So, if someone is trying to figure out which is right for them, what's your quick guide?
Okay, so if you're busy, I'd say try gelatin blocks like Knox. You can dissolve one in warm water with a squeeze of lemon and a dash of stevia, and you've got a daily skin elixir, or just add it to your morning beverage. If you prefer cooking, definitely make a big pot of bone broth over the weekend. Your future self will absolutely thank you. And if you like simplicity above all else, a scoop of pure glycine powder in your nighttime tea could be all you need.
So what matters most isn't which one you pick, but that you pick one and stay consistent.
Exactly. Consistency is key with all these things, Alice.
You mentioned sleep earlier, and I know that's such a quiet struggle for so many of us as we age. Falling asleep, staying asleep, waking up feeling truly rested, it gets harder, doesn't it? How does glycine truly shine for sleep?
It absolutely does get harder for many people. But here's where glycine truly shines. Not just for your skin, but for your sleep quality. You see, glycine actually helps regulate your core body temperature. At night, your body naturally needs to cool down just a little bit to slip into that deep, restorative sleep. Glycine supports this gentle drop in temperature, effectively sending your brain a powerful signal. It's time to rest now.
That's so interesting. It's working with your body's natural processes.
Precisely. There was a study published in Sleep and Biological Rhythms that found just 3 grams of glycine taken before bed helped participants fall asleep faster, wake up less frequently during the night, and crucially, feel more refreshed the next day. And here's the beautiful part, Alice. Unlike sleeping pills or even melatonin, glycine doesn't knock you out. It supports your body's natural rhythm. No grogginess the next morning, no strange dreams, just calm, uninterrupted rest.
So, what's your evening tip for our listeners then, Dr. Masayuki?
My evening tip, very simple. Stir 3 grams of glycine into a warm cup of chamomile tea about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. You can add a slice of ginger or a splash of oat milk if that makes it more enjoyable for you. For many of my older patients, especially those struggling with stress, night sweats, or aching joints, this small, calming ritual has really changed things for them.
It's not a magic cure, but it's supporting what your body is already trying to do: rest, heal, and repair.
Exactly that, Alice.
Now, we talked earlier about plant-based diets, and I know this is a big question for many of our listeners. But Dr. Masayuki, what if I'm vegetarian or vegan?
Ah, yes, Alice. I hear this often, and it's such an important question. Because while many of those traditional sources of collagen do come from animals, that absolutely doesn't mean plant-based eaters are left behind or can't support their collagen production.
Okay, so there are solutions for everyone. So, what are the solutions for those who don't eat animal products?
Absolutely. Let's start with this. Your body can make glycine, and it can build collagen. But it needs the right building blocks, and sometimes, especially with age or certain dietary limitations, those can run low. Glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline are the 3 main amino acids that make up most of collagen, and yes, they are more abundant in animal-based foods. But here's the really good news. You can still support your collagen naturally without compromising your values. First, and this is fantastic, you can find vegan glycine powder. There's a plant-based version made through microbial fermentation. It's odorless, dissolves easily in water or tea, and it's quite affordable. I usually recommend about 3 grams a day, mixed into smoothies, tea, or even your morning oatmeal.
That's wonderful. And what about whole foods?
Yes, you can also boost your intake of key plant nutrients that specifically support your body's own collagen production. Think of these as the raw materials your body needs to build its own collagen. We're talking about vitamin C from guava, kiwi, oranges, and red bell peppers. Zinc, found in pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds. Copper, from mushrooms, cashews, lentils. Silica, abundant in oats, cucumbers, celery, and bamboo leaves. And of course, good quality plant proteins like tofu, tempeh, and quinoa.
So it's about giving your body the right tools. Could you give us a quick sample day of how someone on a plant-based diet could incorporate these?
Of course. Here's a simple sample day. Morning. Try an avocado and kiwi smoothie with 3 grams of vegan glycine powder and a sprinkle of chia seeds. Lunch. A chickpea salad with lots of red bell pepper, mushrooms, and cashews. Dinner. An oat and celery soup with a warm chamomile tea stirred with glycine before bed.
That's a great practical guide.
Just remember this, Alice. You don't have to choose between your health and your values. Listen closely to your body. It will tell you what it needs. And when you give it the right tools, even gentle plant-based ones, it will begin to heal.
Dr. Masayuki, this has been incredibly insightful. It really underscores how sometimes the most profound healing comes not from dramatic changes, but from quiet, consistent care, the little acts you repeat day after day.
You've hit the nail on the head, Alice. A spoonful of gelatin in your morning coffee, a warm cup of bone broth or glycine tea before bed. These small rituals might seem simple, but they gently build resilience in your skin, your joints, your sleep, and honestly, even your spirit.
So for our listeners who want to start, what's your simple recommendation?
Here's a simple start. Pick up a bag of unsweetened gelatin or vegan glycine powder. Or, if you're up for it, make a pot of bone broth this weekend. Savor the ritual as much as the broth itself. And, perhaps, keep a sleep journal for a week. Notice how your rest improves with these small steps. Healing isn't about perfection. It's about kindness to your body and your heart. If you're on a journey to reclaim your health and your confidence, please don't overlook glycine. It may be small, but its power is quietly mighty.
Thanks, powerful and practical advice as always.
If this helped you, comment glowing, like, subscribe to the Life in Harmony channel, and share this with someone who deserves to feel radiant inside and out.
Stay strong, stay glowing, and as always,
We'll see you in the next one.